Hey guys, it's Magic here. It's kind of early in the morning. It's 5:44 a.m. where I'm at. Um, when I'm recording this video, anyway. Um, so today, what I want to talk about is anxiety. Um, I know whenever I have an anxiety attack, I tend to hyperventilate. I tend to be really scared, and it just feels like everything's caving in all at once, you know. But anxiety is like fear. It's not real. It's real. It feels real. It's there, but it's usually caused by an imagined source. Sometimes it can be caused by real sources, but sometimes it's just things inside of our head as well. Um, Honestly, anxiety is just like our life. We need to take charge of it, because if we don't, it's going to take charge of us. It's going to run us rather than us leading it. I find it helps. A lot of people tell me whenever I'm having an anxiety attack that what I need to do is take a few deep breaths, which whenever I'm having an anxiety attack and I'm already hyperventilating, taking deep breaths just makes that worse. But it is good to try to take a step back and acknowledge how you feel. Try to figure out the source of it. Try to figure out like why you're feeling the way you're feeling, rather than just being like in the moment, oh my god, what's happening? Because you can determine why you're feeling the way you're feeling, or what's causing the emotion, or what exactly you're feeling, then it'll be easier for you to combat it. After all, anxiety is just another emotion, and our emotions and what we choose to feel is up to us. So if we know what's happening, then we can figure out what's causing it, and we can determine in our heads whether or not it's really worth having that reaction, and change the behavior or change the way we respond to it, or even change the emotion. Something has to be causing it, though. So instead of running from the cause, we need to accept it and accept the feeling. Quit judging ourselves for feeling that way. Because the more we judge ourselves for feeling that way, the more anxiety we're going to have. Because we're worried about what other people are thinking about our anxiety, so then we judge ourselves, which just increases the anxiety. We need to quit judging our emotions and judging our thoughts and judging ourselves, because our emotions and thoughts, they're not wrong. There's no right or wrong way to feel. There's no right or wrong way to think. There's no right or wrong with that. It's just us being our authentic selves. And by trying to judge that and change that because of what other people might think, we're not being our authentic true selves. And it's very important that we stay true to ourselves, because at the end of the day, that's all we really got. Fighting the anxiety and trying to live up to other people's expectations will only increase your stress and anxiety issues. So really the only way to overcome it is to accept that it is a part of you, and to try to work on the things that trigger it, and to try to change the response that you have to those things, or to try to find ways to calm it before it becomes a problem. Like, I don't try not to judge the thoughts that I have, but whenever I do have thoughts that cause me issues, I try to question why I'm having them. I try to make myself think about it. Be like, well, what's prompting this way of thinking that is causing me to respond in this way? Because if I can figure out what's causing me to think that way, then maybe I can do something to circumvent the way I think about that particular thing or whatever. Or I can kind of debunk the negative self-talk. A lot of what causes my anxiety is fears of things that may or may not happen, and with those I just have to ask myself, is this likely to happen? Is this actually a possibility? And how likely is this possibility? Because it hasn't happened yet. For all I know, it could go 1,000 positive ways, but I'm focused on the negative result. Because I was always taught as a kid that, you want to hope for the best. You want to hope for the best possible outcome, but you need to prepare for the worst one. So I think about all the possible outcomes, and I hope for one of the good ones, but I'm preparing for the worst one, which is a lot of where my anxiety comes from. So I have to let myself know, yes, it is a possibility, but I can't let that control me right now. I know that when a lot of the time, whenever I'm scared, I like to deny that I'm afraid or ignore it, and then that just causes it to rise rather than, dealing with it and accepting it and trying to process it. So it's learning to engage your feelings and learning to control them. That is what we need to focus on. Not the negativity, not the negative emotion, not the negative thoughts. We just need to focus on why. Because, we can't fix anything if we're not willing to take the steps towards progress. We can't fix anything if we're not willing to try. So, what you need to do, what I would recommend doing, is writing down the things that you know make you anxious and when it's most likely to surface, or what you've noticed in trends with your anxiety, and then make a game plan to combat it before it happens, so you already have that plan in place. Because if you already have the plan in place, then you're more likely to be able to follow that plan, because you're not just trying to come up with it in a moment. So make a plan and try to make sure that you follow it. Well, I'm sorry that my brain's a little scattered, but it is super early in the morning, and remember, go out and spread the love, okay, guys?